if you're going to deal ice and you're not going to hurt people, then every single person is going to take everything you have. You know, that their desire for what you've got is stronger than their respect for your humanity. You know, the only way for you to protect what you have is to make people understand that it's not worth their while to take it. I hated school, man, but what I hated worse was going home. You know, at least at school, all you got to worry about is, you know, bullies or dickheads or, you know, teachers and shit like that. But you know, when you get home, you everything may go just fine, or maybe a bloke 3 times your size is going to come in and start kicking the shit out of you, and you don't know whether it's going to happen or not. So that terror was a big part of my growing up. My mum was an absolute champion. You know, she copped a lot of beatings for me. That was one of the hardest things, I guess, was, you know, watching that sort of happen. And she tried to kill herself a couple of times when I was about 16 or 17, so that was rough as well. But she's absolutely my hero. You know, she stuck through, you know, thick and thin through with my dad, just, you know, to make sure that I was all right. The worst thing I've ever done, I tased a guy in the face once, and that was purely because he was flat out refusing to give me something that he owed me and he had, and it was infuriating. And I had the bloke, you know what I mean? Like he had no fucking options whatsoever, and still refusing to give it to me. So, you know, I tased the bloke in the face, and I ended up getting, you know, what he owed me. And, you know, 15 years on, I still feel bad about that. You know, I feel bad that I put myself in that sort of situation. I'm not a violent person, man. I'm really not. But when you're using those drugs, you do change as well, and the stakes change. I know people have vanished. I know people who have murdered people, and you also hear stories about things that, like, you think, fuck. People out here have no idea about that. I know there are stabbings every single night, you know, in the city, you know, like around King's Cross, around Darlinghurst. Like, I've been stabbed myself a number of times. Like, you know, you hear about it fucking constantly. You don't read about it. You don't see it on TV. You know, it's not like we're surrounded by horror. We're surrounded by despair. We're surrounded by people that, oh man, being in jail is like a headache that you never lose. It's like. If you've ever waited 3 hours for a bus, you can imagine what it's like to wait 3 years for a bus. It's fucking horrible. It's impossible to verbalise exactly what it is that creates that horror.
Looking at where you are now, how do you think prison has affected your life?
I feel as though it taught me a lot, and I have the ability to appreciate things that I think other people don't, based on that. Definitely when I first got out, you know, all I wanted to do was get out, and when I got out, all I wanted to do was stay out. I wanted to get myself back on the straight and narrow. I just wanted a job. I wanted a roof over my head. I wanted to not look over my shoulder. I just wanted a life, you know. Once I did, and, you know, I was able to start to build a little bit of a life, I had this amazing ability to walk outside at 7 o'clock at night and look up at the stars and just be filled with euphoria. Every night I could do it, you know, just this knowledge that, because you don't really see the stars a lot in jail. You know, you can look out the window maybe and you can see them, but to stand under the night sky, that's a whole different thing. And yeah, you have to have something taken away from you before you can appreciate it like that, before you can really learn to enjoy what you have.